Hi everybody, here's Philip again from Chile, and we're gonna work on a special project today. So, back in the episode 27, we had a nice talk, interesting talk with Joel Cornu about 8-bit and 16-bit. This man, who is a Swiss guy like I am, living in Geneva like I was living, he's a guy who's working on CinePaint. Why is he working on CinePaint and not in GIMP? Because GIMP just has 8-bit. In that episode, if you're really interested in this team, you can go there and listen to it. He wrote also an interesting article about where we stand with Linux photography. And in that article, you have a declaration. I found this was really interesting. He said CinePaint has a Ferrari engine inside an old Dodge 4. It's true that the GUI from CinePaint is really old, and we got something really nicer in GIMP. And while GIMP has a Dodge 4 engine inside a Ferrari, so a Ferrari is nice, but with a Dodge 4, you know what's the Dodge 4 engine? You guys from the States? A Dodge 4 is an old French car, just after the Second World War II, with a really 2-cylinder engine. I don't know how much power she's got, but really nothing. So I decided to take a stand in that situation and to go ahead. I decided to put a big engine in my GIMP, in my Ferrari. So this stand make me think, what can I do? What can I do about that? I'm a coder. I'm not a big coder. I can write some code in Python and other batch in Perl for website, but I'm not able to go inside the GIMP engine and really do something. So I say I'm gonna play a bit, and that's what I achieve. I'm gonna laugh a bit. A GIMP V16-bit motor inside a Ferrari. A red Ferrari with nice chromes and things like that. And today we're gonna work a bit in the chrome side. To achieve an image like that, I need about 3 hours. And to do that before, I need to study a lot. So I study how a car is done. To do that, I download from internet a lot of images. Chevy logos I put in Google and look at the image. I got that, but that's not really helping. So I found that one also in logos, but not really Chevy. But here it's really interesting. We got nice reflection with a tree here, a shadow. And I make an exercise out of that. Where it is, I found the push. This one. I mimic the shadows with a environment map, and I put a nice glassy, glossy button in the middle. That was not really like a car. That's like more a bus. You can imagine that in a bus in London. That was an exercise where I was like discovering and working on that. For this photo, you got a lot of layer already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the yellow, the shadow inside. 6, 7 inside. 8 reflection. 9, like about 10 layer. That's a lot of work. After that, I look at the other logo I can have, find a lot of interesting stuff. Again, shadows, highlights, reflections, chrome, the key. I copy the key, not copying it, pasting. I just see how it was done and how it is done in the center here. And I've done something in my picture the same way. Here Got also shadows here, gradient, a key, like good, nice reflection here. Interesting. It is made is like the scratch from the edge of the paint, with giving reflection from the sun. Here we've got a Jaguar, because I love English cars. Nice reflection from the trees. Chevy, a lot of Chevy. V8. I want a V16, so it's not fit. This one is really interesting. Try to see that picture as flat. It's not a volume, it's a flat picture. Close one eye, I don't know, find a trick to just trick your mind to don't see volume here, but just flat. And you will see gray spaces, big, some gradient, some line which coming from the dark and the bright. And if you think really, it's not complicated. There's some gradient. You got how much color here? Grays. Don't have to be a wise guru guy to just find a way to copy that, to make something which look like that. Here's some nice reflection also. Can be challenging. Here's a mini is interesting for the gradient here. You're gonna do something like that. Scratchy. Nice picture. This mark is nice for the letters. Here, interesting to see how they are working and see the shadows and all that stuff. Here we see also something interesting, that the paint is not flat. We got some structure in it. Not really interesting. Again, a challenging thing. Here we got an interesting change of color. A part is on the sun or reflected from something. Another car, I don't know. Chevy and the door here. Got the sun, and here you see it is the sun, and one here got a halo, and you got some scratch. One here you got some scratch. Give more reality. And the reflection of the sky and the reflection of the surrounding thing are one here. Interesting. So that was my result. I show you again this result. From all those pictures, I rescue reflection from trees, key, the same kind of mechanic here, reflection, a flat reflection here, a bit distorted to give like more realism, a radial projection of the reflection around the key. You see like something like a street, and a bumper, the bumper reflection from the bottom. In the bumper, I had to stretch down the image and give a reflection, a wide reflection from the car. Here I make a grid, and those letters, nice chrome letters. So today we're gonna make something like that. Not gonna make everything, just go through the chrome of the letters and the background, and perhaps gonna do just that. From that image I make another one with like easiest thing to do. Also I have one with a grid and the same kind of effect here with highlight. That's all from scratch. Nothing is copied and past. And the first one I've done, that was this one. That was just flat. So let's go working now. We've seen a lot of picture, but it's really important. If you want to make graphics, look at the nature. Look outside. Look at your cup. You could like a glass of wine. The light is projected, and learn from the thing you see, and you're gonna be able after that to make things who can be convincing. So let's work. Now, a background, we're gonna fill it with a red, deep red, and dark red. With a gradient tool, double click on a tool, that's a trick. We get to the option. Here we are linear, that's okay. Control to go straight up, that's wrong. We're going to go to the other side. Okay, that's okay. Now we're gonna make some letters. Double click. Gonna find a letter like 100. We're gonna have in black, so that's really visible. And going with a fat letter. What you're gonna see here. AMP space V16. But that's this font just give me cap letters, so I don't want that. This one is really interesting. Gonna having like that, centering it. So now here we can go together with a G going through the V, to the E, and to the V. Gonna do something interesting here. I just gonna need to go up with that, and after that I can do everything with bitmap. But to just go with G, this part of the G up, I need to transform this this font, these letters here, in a path, text to path. Okay. Now we're gonna active our path and use a path tool. This one, okay. Zoom a bit. And with the shift key down, we're gonna select all the dots. We can make this work really easier in Inkscape, but we are working in GIMP, so everything in GIMP. Now select that and up. Okay. Now just click one alone. So the main ID is that. So now I'm gonna stop later because it's not so easy with GIMP to do that kind of work, and the path is pretty heavy for my machine. But the idea is that look at the G, we're gonna correct it later. I'm gonna correct it a bit later. So now I'm gonna transform this path in selection. Path to selection. That can be demanding for your processor. So just wait patiently. I'm gonna jump now. So we are back again. We got our selection. Now we're gonna make a new layer, call it V16, and in this new layer we're gonna throw out a light bluish gray in the selection. So here we've got it. Now we can take out the letters. We won't need it again. And we can also take out the path. So now we want to connect this G with this V, and with the E. For that we take our selection tool, so here we are. And we're gonna fill it in gray. That's a bit artisanal, but that's the way I love to do this thing. Control X. Gonna make the dot again. Sure, Inkscape can be better to do the job, but all the rest is impossible to do in Inkscape. And here we're gonna need our selection tool, not the lasso, this one. We got Y, but I'm gonna cut it after that. Again, some adjustment, a lot of adjustment. Okay. So here we've got it. We've got our logo. Can be good if we push that Control X, Control V, and anchor. Excuse me. Okay, we got our logo. It's quite nice mechanic and everything we want. So now we're gonna need to bump it. To do that, double this layer, duplicating it, putting that one down. We're gonna select the gray part, and blacken it. Other part, put some white in it. Okay, now we're gonna Control A to select all. You're gonna blur it. filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I'm gonna give it something like a 12 to be a round later. Okay. Now just check something here. That's okay. Yeah, the layer is okay. Everything is registered. Important to have both layers from the same size. If you have moved the layer between working on that and the layer is not going to the border of the image, you get some funky results. When you do, what are you gonna do now? Selecting the layer from up, filter, map, bump map, and here selecting the copy layer here, and we're gonna have our effect. Now azimuth. Azimuth give us the place of the sun. Where is the sun? To have the sun on the corner here. I'm gonna give more depth so it's more visible. So here it is. Elevation is a place where is the sun. In the top, midday, in the night, near the horizon. So here, and I have like important for that effect of chrome, there are a lot of different gray. If you burn too much the white and you have too much black, it's not gonna be easy to work after. The elevation again having a lot of gray. If it's flat, it's not working. If it's too burnt, it's not working. The offsets are okay. The ambient is a value of the light from another source. So, okay. Now we've got our editor already take out this copy here. Now we're gonna make some chrome. To do that, the trick is to go to the curves tool, and here, first step, find the point with in the middle here. Yeah, here we are affecting the middle. So the middle is important to have a lot of white in the middle. And after that, you go like so, in zigzag. And having like I found that having like a progressive curve is pretty interesting. Perhaps one more. No. Keep the shadow. Get to add some more adjustment. Really important to try to have that like a glassy effect. think here we are good. Okay. Now we want to have a shadow, and that for that purpose we're going to double it again. Yeah, we're going to double it again. Select with selection tool the outside part. So we select just the alpha channel. Invert it, Control E, and throw in put it down. Throw in that layer black. Control A, selection all, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Here we go. Gonna go down a bit. 10 can be good. We don't want to give too much to don't give the impression that the letters are in the air. Gonna click M to move and go down. Okay. Now we want to work on the reflection. For that purpose, I've got prepared an image. I'm gonna throw it in. Here it is, and we're gonna change his size just fast and dirty, just to cover this part. Click scale. So this tool work, you need to make a new layer of that to have the result, because if you just anchor it, you go in the side of the first one, and can throw out this one named reflection. And put it just in top of the background. Here we're gonna need to go to darken only. Go down with the opacity. No, darken only is not. No, screen better. Yeah, screen is really better. Go down with the opacity a bit more. Okay. So now, here we got our letters, we got our shadow and the reflection behind. But we need the tree. The tree need to have a reflection also. So we're gonna double this layer and select the V16. The V16 letters, select alpha channel, select again the reflection we want to put on the letters, and Control X to cut everything with outside. And now we're gonna treat this one in a different manner. Up. And to change this mode, perhaps multiply, sometimes get really good results. What about darken only? Or sometimes hard light. think this one is the best one. Hard light. Yep. That's the best one. Now we're gonna merge down this layer on the V16. And a trick I discovered recently, so we're gonna select all, is that with filter, enhance, and unsharp mask, we can really push up the chrome contrast. Keeping some details were representative. I think that one is good. So we get here, we got the reflection we don't have. It's like clean here also. That's perfect. Another step is here. I don't really like that. The reflections go too deep in the shadow. So we're gonna work on that now. Selecting tool from the shadow, inverting it, and cutting from the reflection. Ctrl X. So that gives like some deepness. Ctrl A to select all to see. That gives some deepness to the shadow here. What else we need? We need a sun. I'm gonna put a sun here in the corner. Make a new layer. Call it sun. And we're gonna make a sun here now. For that purpose, we got a filter. Like with the like in the last podcast, we can do that by from scratch, but I'm gonna be lazy now. Use the default sun, place it in the corner, not too high. For the size, the radius, big, about 180. Okay. Here we get a sun. We're gonna, as you see, the sun don't really give here more bright, and here is like even. We're gonna boost up a bit that thing with dodge and burn tool. That's always the good tool to work. And to give more, we're gonna really blow here. One thing is, I think it's too saturated. This blue is too blue. Use saturation. I'm gonna desaturate a bit this blue here. See, saturation go up and go down. All those adjustments need to give some realism. A light bluish result. I prefer to have too much blue and take it down than to have nothing and not being able to work on those details. So I was using dodge and burn tool, blowing out this part, the upper part of the letters, really in that corner to really mark that's we are. And with a control key, with the burn tool, we can burn a bit here, giving more contrast. To that part. being progressive. Can burn that a lot. Like point. So we got some chrome letters with some reflection. What we can do more to have some nice thing? Yeah, this reflection is square now. We're gonna just finishing that with some adjustment here on the reflection. Ellipse. Centered. Gonna cut a bit of the upper part and a bit of the down part. Enter. Control E to invert. Control X to cut. So Control A, select all. So now we've got this ellipse here, around and around here. What I want is I want to blur the outer part and to have like a neat center part. How can we do that in GIMP? The easiest way is through a quick mask. Put a quick mask on it. Here's everything red, so you don't see it a lot, but with a right click we can select the color. Can adding another color, so it's going to be easier to see. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna throw a gradient on that. Black and white gradient. And a bilinear gradient. This one is good. Bilinear gradient. Non-repeat, and see what we've got here. From the center we go out, control to have fixed angle. So here we see, here we are hiding and here we are affecting. If you take out the quick mask, you see that is selected progressively to the center and back again. So now if we put a blur, we're going to affect just the outer part. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur. So we're going to go up with a blur. As you see, the blur here is affecting, in the middle nothing, in the here we got too much. Okay. So Control A. So now we see, like in a car, we see neatly in the front, in the where we go in the side, it go down. So I think that's all for today, because if not, it's going to be too long. But that was the trick, making a chrome, adding a reflection. Here we can make the door, like I had in my other picture, and putting a bumper in the back. You can do what you want. So last trick I'm gonna show you, just for fun, selecting the background, color, hue, saturation, is that you can change the color of your car. You want a blue car? You want a yellow car? A green car? Change it on the fly. Can be fun in the reality. So we're gonna make a blue, go the lightness down a bit with saturation to saturate a lot of the color, and click OK. So that's all for today, folks. We don't have more time. we're finished. We got our sun, got everything we need. You can make the next step. Try to take that image or another one that you're gonna make from scratch, and do something like I've done. I've done something similar here this afternoon to prepare this podcast, GIMP16. I put a bumper and make a special shadow here to try to have a door. So, you had the GIMP installed. Go ahead, try to make a picture by yourself. Bye bye.
photocastnetwork.com, your photography resource in the podosphere. photocastnetwork.com